All right, welcome back to another Riz on my podcast. It is Sunday, July 24th. It's the Hall of Fame ceremony day. I'm watching MLB Network right now. They're showing all the Griffey and Piazza highlights. But that's what I'm not on here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is Aroldis Chapman. The rumors are really starting to fly now. It's getting nuts. We're only like basically a week away from the deadline. And the Yankees have pretty much come out and said they're close to trading him. I don't know if that's going to happen today, probably sometime next week in the coming days is likely. But for a while, and these are all just rumors, just for fun, whatever. But the Nats seemed to be the team that was really leading to get him. And then they started mentioning the Giants, the Indians, and then, of course, the ever popular mystery team. But as of this hour, Rosenthal and a few others are tweeting that the Cubs are now the front runners to land Chapman. How do I feel about that? Well, part of me is excited as fuck if that were to happen. You get the 105 mile an hour throwing Chapman to close out games. I mean, that just makes their chances at a World Series just increase. By how much, I don't know, but I mean that I think clearly, if they weren't already the front runner for the World Series, and the addition of Chapman would certainly make them so. But then there's the other side, which is his domestic violence issue. Now I know he's already sat out his 30 games, did his time or whatever. But where do you draw the line? And this happens with teams all the time. You might root for a particular team and they sign some guy like Greg Hardy or whatever, that's looks to be a scumbag. So I mean, do you root for them? What do you All I know is I'm not going to stop rooting for the Cubs. I mean, it's out of my control. What can I do? I would like it if all the Cubs, were fucking great guys and didn't get in trouble, but if they get Chapman, I will be rooting for him to close out games. Because that means the Cubs are winning. So, semantics here, but I wouldn't be technically like trying to root for Chapman to close the games. I'm more so rooting for him to do that because that would obviously mean a Cubs win. So I'm really just rooting for a Cubs win. Fine line maybe, but that's kind of where I stand on it. There's some people on the Twitter sphere that are just saying this will change me as a Cubs fan. There's someone that covers the Cubs. I forgot her name. She's basically saying I've been a Cubs fan my whole life, and this would change the way I look at them. Like that's step away from the ledge. That's a bit much. You don't think in all the years you've been a Cubs fan that there's been like scumbags on the team at some point. This woman looks to be in her 30s probably. So it is what it is. It's not going to stop me from rooting for the Cubs. And I am kind of a second chance guy. What he did sounds absolutely awful, but hopefully he's done doing that bullshit. And even if he's not, I don't even know the chances the Cubs sign him anyway. So it could just be a brief thing. And if he helps the Cubs win a World Series, then I'm sure a lot of these fans, you won't hear much of that domestic violence issue. Not that it's okay with they signed a woman beater as long as they win the World Series. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Cubs fans are going to be so elated that they won the World Series that that I don't think they're going to give two shits. But right now, some people are getting on their soapbox about don't sign the character guy, blah blah blah. It's unfortunate this type of situation, these type of people that exist in sports. It is what it is. I'm a second chance guy, so hopefully the Cubs do get him because that would make them a better team. All right, well, comment below and tell me what you think of the possible acquisition of Aroldis Chapman. Until next time, this has been Riz on my podcast.